Alright, so we're back with a little update on the GMC Silverado here. I don't really remember where I left off on this truck, but I think it had the black doors on it, maybe. I don't remember. So now it's got the silver doors on it that were still good. It's got the GMC bed, and it is a Z71 two-wheel drive. I don't know why Chevrolet did that, but I'm currently trying to find a silver GMC front clip, and trying to find a door. The local junkyard has one. I just haven't had taken the time, I guess, to call them. Just because, man, the last week and a half has just been, I've never been this busy. I was up in the shop at like 6:30 till 11 p.m., just working, and just really been busy, and learned some more on this thing. Learned a lot more on these platform trucks than I ever wanted to know. So I finally I think I got all the lights off except for the communication with the because the PCM and the BCMs have different VIN numbers, and of course the TPMS light is on. So and the backup sensor, because this bumper, I guess he sold the bumper that had the backup sensors, so this one does not have the backup sensors. So that is on. Now, I did purchase a Mongoose that finally broke down and bought it. But again, I'm still working on trying to figure out how to use it. Apparently you got to go to AC Delco's site and purchase I guess like a credit or license to BCM and get their software and whatever. So I haven't figured that out yet. But I'm trying to learn that, and just like I say, just had a lot going on. So the airbag light on was because I had not plugged in the sensor on this, the seat sensor for the seat airbag, so that wasn't plugged in, so that was an easy fix. The StabiliTrak light was because of the yaw sensor. So the yaw sensor is under this seat, and apparently it had been removed from the LTZ harness, and I did not know it. So once I figured that out, I was able to plug that in and bolt it in where it goes, and then that light went off. So I think we're good there. With the VIN Wizard, HP Tuners has a VIN Wizard in there where you can change the VIN number to the PCM, and I'm not familiar with it. I've never used it. I was able to talk to Michael, and Michael told me that it doesn't work on the E38. It'll say it's done and whatever, but it doesn't take effect. So with the Mongoose thing, I was thinking about changing the VIN and the BCM, but then I was like, well, if I change the VIN and the BCM, does that mean all the airbag modules now aren't going to be happy? And then I'm going to have to change all the airbag modules. So I really don't know what to do. The light doesn't really bother me per se. To me, at this point, the easiest option would be to buy an E38 and have it factory flashed, and then license it with HP Tuners and put this file on it, and then the BCM and the PCM would have the same VIN numbers, because I just feel if I change the BCM, that it's just going to affect everything inside the cab that I changed. So who knew that this would be this difficult? So but anyway, I think this is the wiring harness for this door. So I'm hoping that the door the junkyard has, it's silver, and it'll have the door panel with the wiring harness and all. So that's why this is not back together. So and the chickens follow me around, so I'll feed them. But yeah, so I haven't really done a whole lot on this truck. I mean, other than swapping the doors, swapping everything, all the wiring harnesses and cables and all in the doors again to make them bolt onto here. And it's just been a very long process. So again, and finding these front clips is, well, finding a silver one, of course it's going to be difficult until you buy one, and then they're everywhere. So that's the update on this one. I learned a lot about these. Another thing I learned is the curtain airbags. There's the plug-in for that. There's a little plastic retaining clip that if you do not put it back in, then you will get an airbag light, and it will say low reference or low voltage or something like that. So apparently that little clip is very important, because you know me, I was like, that's not gonna matter, so we'll get it all together. And then the airbag light was on. It had 13 codes, and then figured that out, did some research online and found a guy that had a steering wheel airbag actually, and he's like, pulled it apart and was like, oh yep, there it is, this little clip's broken that holds the connector on. He replaced it and the light went away, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So I pulled it all back apart, put that little clip in there, and sure enough the light went off. So lesson learned. Even the little things matter. But I still gotta finish cleaning it and everything. I tried to vacuum the system for air conditioning to get the AC working and all, but I could audibly hear a leak while I was vacuuming it. So I've got to I pulled the hoses off the compressor, because I'm assuming that's where he took it apart and cleaned everything up, put new O-rings and oiled them and all. So I'm about to try to vacuum it and see if it'll hold vacuum, so I can try to charge it and get the AC working on it. I'm looking for another set of wheels, because I don't like these, and the back's good to go. So we got both silver back doors, and apparently I cut myself a little blood, but yeah, so I'm happy with it. The chrome exhaust tip has to go, so I want to get that off, and like I said, try to get it all silver again. This thing's been doing pretty good. I drove it to Summit yesterday. My kids love this truck. They call it the 3-seat truck, so every chance they get, they want to drive in the 3-seat truck. So so far I've put almost 300 miles on it, and it's about a half tank of gas, so seems to be doing pretty good on mileage and everything. It is a rather large gas tank though. I don't know how big it is, but I clicked off at about $88 or $90 last time I was filling it up, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So hopefully it gets decent mileage. But I think the wheels are killing it, but I don't know, they've kind of come to grow on me a little bit. I think it looks good, and I know everybody wants to see it lowered and slammed and whatever, but I mean, I still use it as a truck. I've taken multiple trips to the dump with it, and I mean, historically I don't like these trucks. These trucks are long beds, and I really like it. The long bed has really come in handy. It's very useful. It serves a purpose. The funny thing is the truck just sounds so stock, because I mean it is, a stock LS6 with headers and full 3.5-inch exhaust with stock muffler and resonator. So it is pretty quiet. Cruises very well. So overall I'm pretty happy with it. If I keep it longer, then I will be trying to get the ICT bracket for the AC compressor, getting the AC compressor on there, and then the biggest thing that bothers me is the radio. It's got the little square misshapen radio or whatever in it, and there's somebody that makes one. Crutchfield has it on their website, and it's pretty. let's see, the top one's a radio, so it's that weird shape radio, but it doesn't work or do anything. Apparently there's another box under the dash, but it doesn't work or come on at all. So I don't know. I like to have a radio, some kind of background noise when I'm driving, you know. It's just, I don't know, I just like it. But like I say, it runs and drives good. The kids love it, and it's a good driving little truck, and air conditioning will be just a cherry on top. And then this thing, I don't know that I've even talked about this truck lately, but I actually got to tow with it, and I towed, I guess I didn't even show it either, but I got a 05 Suburban one last week sometime, and complete truck. Towed it with this thing, and I'm very impressed with how well this thing tows. The engine braking with the turbos and all does well. It's got good takeoff, good acceleration, and it towed it very well. So I'm impressed with it. You know, for towing, I don't know what kind of mileage it got or whatever, but like I say, it did well. The rear end is pretty noisy. I'm not sure what style locker Ford used, or limited slip, or whatever you want to call it. Somebody's gonna call it different. So you know, the comments about only white platinum 4x4s had this gear ratio. I mean, come on guys, it's cars. There's gonna be one's gonna have something different than the other one. Not all of them came exactly with 355s and, you know, pearl white platinums. I mean, you know, somebody ordered it different. You know, they didn't all come this way. So anyway, speaking of rear ends, this one, I looked it up, well, when I did the file and the Blue Cat and all, and this stupid thing is a 308. So why would Chevrolet build a truck with a 5.3 and put a 308 in it? So I know that the 6-speed, I think we had calculated it, the first gear, and with a 308 was like a 12 something starting line ratio. And then I looked at the Denali truck, and it was a 342 truck. And then I looked at my old Denali, and it was a 342 truck. So coincidentally, the LTZ cab and chassis and all that I had that I got with this one when I traded for Clifford was a 3. It had, I don't know what rear end it was, because it was a disc brake rear end. And it, you know, most people know with Chevrolet trucks, Chevrolet could not make up their mind about disc brakes or drum brakes. So this is a 2010 with drum brakes. And then, you know, in the 2000s had disc brakes, and then it was just, you never knew from year to year what Chevrolet was going to do about the rear brakes, if they were going to have an inline fuel filter, or if they were going to have a cabin air filter. I mean, Chevrolet flip-flopped on that just all the time. So, you know, it's surprising to see a 2010 truck with drum brakes, but it was even stranger in my opinion. You know, I'm sure all of these with 5.3s came with 308s, right? So, but why would you put a 5.3 with a 308 and then put a 6.2 in the Denali's with a 342? And there's Jack. But so with the, I forget what the starting line ratio is with the 342 and the 403 first, but it was a pretty good starting line ratio. So I pulled the ring and pinion out of that truck. The spider gears were absolutely destroyed in it. So but the ring and pinion looked okay. So I pulled it out, and I'm probably going to pull the 308s out of here and put the 342 in it. And then, you know, I want to drive it and see how it does and everything. But speaking of the Denali, so Michael still has the Denali truck, and apparently with that little torque cam and the that turbo on it, with it being all-wheel drive and everything, he said it'll knock all 4 tires off from a dead stop. So I know if he's anywhere near as busy as I am, and I'm a one-man operation, I can't imagine how busy he is. So He's been trying to get that truck done, you know, along with his workload. So hopefully he'll get it done soon. And because I want to drive it and see how it is, because this is the L96 with a 6-liter. I mean, a 6-liter with a 6L80, and I really would like to see how it does with the, you know, I mean, obviously a turbo setup. So, and these front ends, I thought the Cat Eyes had a lot of room for an intercooler. These trucks have a ton of room. This truck barely had enough room for the True Cool in there. So, because, you know, obviously I thought about turbo in this one, but I probably would put one of the torque cams in it, because I was looking at the cam specs of the LS6, and it has a lot of lobe separation. And one of my favorite torque cams has a 108 or a 110 lobe separation, and then I think this one's like a 117, or, you know, Chevrolet typically ran a higher lobe separation on their camshafts, so stock. But I might do that with this one. And then I need to put something. It's a 373 14 bolt, so I need some kind of a limited slip in this truck too. But I guess to pull the weight of these heavy 22s, I need a little extra torque to move it. So but anyway, that's the update on these 3 trucks. I haven't made a video in a while just because I've been so busy, but anyway, that's the update on that.